When I was 2 years old, my sister decided to put me on her bicycle and go for a ride. When we were riding, she was going down a gravel hill, and my parents were at the bottom of the hill getting the mail, and I was on the handlebars, and she crashed. When she crashed, I guess it was pretty bad. I don't remember any of this. My dad grabbed me. They called an ambulance. Ambulance came and got us. My dad held me in the ambulance on our way to the hospital. I guess I went in and out of consciousness multiple times on the way to the hospital, so they didn't know what to expect when we got there. When we finally showed up, the doctors, everybody decided I was okay. There was no permanent or severe damage, although my friends and family might argue that now. But I was okay, and that was one of many close calls or near-death experiences that I've had in my life. And I think it's because God still wants me around, and that's the reason why I survived it. Good evening, my name is David Peeke, and today I'm going to tell you about my personal journey with the Lord. I've lived a relatively interesting life. I grew up in the church. My parents used to take us to Sunday school every Sunday, and I accepted God into my life at an early age. I don't remember exactly when, but I don't know or remember a time when I wasn't a Christian. I have, however, had a lot of ups and downs in my life. The ups were usually because of God. Or actually not usually, but they were all because of God. He played a huge role in my life when things were going good, and I was walking with Him. But I also had a lot of downs, and those downs were my fault. There were times when I ignored Him, or I wasn't talking to Him, I was trying to do my own thing, I was trying to live my life my own way, and things weren't really working out. Like I said earlier, I've had many near-death experiences, many interesting experiences in life. I told you about the bicycle crash when I was 2. I think I was about 5 years old. My dad told me about a time when my brother and I had bunk beds, and I used to sleep on the top bunk. And one night I slid underneath the railing, and I was hanging by my neck, choking. And I guess I was whispering, "Dad, Dad." And for some reason, my dad heard me in the middle of the night, and he came to the room, and he found me hanging there, and he grabbed me and put me back up in bed, and essentially saved me. I was robbed in Africa. I was sleeping in the back of a van at night, and a guy was actually crawling through the window and cut my back pocket open to try to steal my wallet. I chased him off, or I kind of yelled, and he ran off. And I didn't realize he cut my back pocket open until I got back to our housing complex later that night. And I was told by one of the groundskeepers that I was lucky. They usually just stab you first, and then they take your wallet. I've been shot at numerous times overseas. I've been almost blown up on many occasions, and I've been in multiple car wrecks and a few motorcycle accidents where I probably shouldn't have walked away from. But God has His hand on me. God is, for some reason, helping keep an eye on me. And I wouldn't even say that I'm a good Christian. I would actually say the opposite. I've had a lot of ups and downs, like I've said, and I've made a lot of bad choices and a lot of bad decisions in life, and a lot of things I regret. I've ignored God. I put Him on the back burner. I've tried to live life my own way, even when I know better. But I still try to do it because I know better. But then once things start going bad and I turn to Him, He helps me. He turns my life around. He helps me to get back up, to kind of brush things off and to move on. And I don't deserve it, and I know that, but He has done it anyways. And the only reason I can think is that He has a purpose for me. I have a purpose in this life, and He's keeping me around for a reason. To me, being a believer is more than just the Bible, more than just the church. It's about God. And so I'm trying to live my life in a way that makes me better, makes people around me better, but makes the world a better place. Trying to provide a place for my daughter to grow up in. I have a 6-year-old daughter. And the other day, it was a couple of weeks ago actually, for some reason her and I were talking, and the subject of heaven and hell came up, and God and Satan. And I I don't remember the exact words of the conversation, but we were talking, and I said, when she asked she asked, how do you get to heaven? So I kind of explained it to her the best I could. And we talked a little more, and I said, well, do you want to accept Jesus into your life? And she said, yes. So I went upstairs, and I knew that the one place to turn, because I don't have all the answers, is the Bible. So we opened it up, and actually on one of the first pages of the Bible was a little guide on accepting Christ into your life. So her and I read through it, and I explained things to her and made sure she understood it. And then we sat and prayed, and she accepted Christ into her life. And it was one of the greatest things, one of the greatest moments of my life. I thought it was awesome. It was a very personal, very beautiful experience to be able to experience that with my 6-year-old daughter. So this is my journey. This is where I am in life. I'm still fixing a lot of the wreckage of my past, but Christ has been there for me, and God's been there for me to help me to rebuild myself and to be a better person. And that's why I'm here today, and that's my journey, and I hope you all enjoyed my speech. Thank you.